reading from the book of Kings. The Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream at night. God said, "Ask something of me, and I will give it to you." Solomon answered, "O Lord my God, you have made me, your servant, king to succeed my father David. But I am a mere youth, not knowing how to act. I serve you in the midst of the people whom you have chosen, a people so vast that it cannot be numbered or counted. Give your servant, therefore, an understanding heart to judge your people and to distinguish right from wrong. For who is able to govern this vast people of yours?" The Lord was pleased that Solomon made this request. So God said to him, "Because you have asked for this, not for a long life for yourself, nor for riches, nor for the life of your enemies, but for understanding so that you may know what is right, I do as you requested. I give you a heart so wise and understanding that there has never been anyone like you up till now. And after you, there will come no one to equal you." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Lord, I love your
A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans. Brothers and sisters, we know that all things work for good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. For those he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, so that he might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. And those he predestined, he also called. And those he called, he also justified. And those he justified, he also glorified. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure buried in a field, which a person finds and hides again. And out of joy goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant searching for fine pearls. When he finds a pearl of great price, he goes and sells all that he has and buys it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown in the sea, which collects every fish of every kind. When it is full, they haul it ashore and sit down to put what is good into buckets. What is bad, they throw away. Thus, it will be the end of the age. The angels will go out and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them in a fiery furnace, where there will be wailing and grinding of the teeth. Do you understand all these things?" They replied, "Yes." And he replied, "Then every scribe who has been instructed in the kingdom of heaven is like head of the household, who brings in from her storeroom both the new and the old." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Do you understand all these things? I'm going to say no. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. And they explain why. From the parables we've heard the last 2 weeks, they have told us something that we have to sort of decipher. See, parables are abstract spiritual lessons. They tell us something, they hide something at the same token. Last week it's telling us the things we needed to do. Today they're telling about the kingdom of heaven and what it's going to be like to get there and how to get there. as any abstract instruction goes, you have to actually sit down and think about it, reflect on it, and spend a lot of time with it. Example, paintings at museums. When I go see an abstract painting in a museum, I am totally confused. I can sit in front of it for hours and not understand it. But if somebody says something magically, boom, there it is. Well, the parables today tell us about the kingdom of heaven. That a man finds a buried treasure in a field, reburies it, then eventually buys a field so he can claim his treasure. That's saying that the man continues to work, not just grab it and say, that's mine and I don't have to do no more. No, but he continues to work to get his gold. Finding the great pearl. Well, the man continued, always doing what he needed to do to have that possession in his hands. It wasn't given to him. He didn't steal it. He didn't take it from someone. No, he earned it. Fishing. Well, this is a little bit of conflict I have. I've told you many times about my grandfather, what he meant to me, and how even though he was an immigrant from Poland and had a fourth grade education, was the smartest man I ever knew. He knew everything, and he was a great fisherman. One thing he said about fish, anything that came out of the lake, river, ocean, you could use. You never threw it away. Example, when would you go be fishing for perch in Lake Erie? Occasionally you caught catfish, maybe a carp, to whatever. Fish that really you couldn't eat, couldn't do anything with. So what did he do? He buried them in his rose gardens as a fertilizer. And my conflict with not understanding this thing is my grandfather told me that nothing is all bad. There is good in all. But in the gospel, we heard they took the good fish and put it in the buckets. And the bad things they threw away. Well, I think this is where the abstract comes up, at least for me. What does the word throw away mean? It means put away, you can never use. Or maybe put it away, that someday it may be good for you some other way. Or someday that bad turns good. All of us have a chance with heaven. Not every day we're going to be good. Not every day we're going to be an angel. Most of the time we are. Some days it's just rough. Whether you're working too long, whether somebody else in your family's sick, you get short-sighted, you're tired, or case may be. You may always not respond to what you need to do. But God gives us that chance to work towards the kingdom of heaven. He gives us that chance to redeem ourselves, such as the man who found the buried treasure. Yes, he never took his eyes off the treasure. And I think that's true for everybody. We never do take our eyes off the treasure. But at times we're not perfect. If we continue to look as the kingdom of heaven for our final spot, spending time with Jesus, talking to Jesus daily, talking to our friends, our family who are there, that's what we should value. That's the things that we must do. So when we hear about parable, about talking about kingdom of heaven, understand it's us he's talking about, and how we should be our effort, our desire, with this help from God, as he did to David today. Let's all point towards heaven and make that our goal.